My name's Kristen and this is Mia. We'll introduce ourselves as we go through the session today, but this is basically a proven UGC FAST method, and the FAST method is ours. We'll talk about that as we go through. That's helping small creators fund their business dreams. And so you may be new to this, you may be in business now, you may be looking for alternatives. We're going to cover it all today so that you feel really comfortable and confident in how you can move in this online space. So I don't know if you guys feel the same, but when you start an online business, you become a content creator. And I don't think that's something people really tell you about. It just seems to happen that all of a sudden you become this content creator.
Yeah, it's a big driving factor too of your results. So it's really, really important. But most people aren't born content creators, so it makes it very hard.
We know that you may be feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit like, what have I walked into with this whole content creation, small business starting online? And so we're going to unpack that, show you how you can start actually making some income online with what you're doing and how you can do that. And if you've ever had any of these thoughts, if you've ever kind of felt like you're wasting so much money on, say, Facebook ads and they're not going anywhere, or you're too scared to invest more money in things because you've invested so much and what's the next thing that's going to work and that's not going to work because that one didn't work. I suppose the most important thing for us to let you guys know is that's normal. We've felt that, and you'll hear how we felt that and how we've kind of navigated that.
So today we're going to show you why you've been an information hungry consumer for far too long. And we all do it. You know, we overconsume, we buy all the courses, we do all the things. But we want to show you a way that you can become the creator that is getting paid to learn. So this is all about getting you paid to learn the skills that you need to master to become successful, instead of being that consumer and that customer sort of buying things all the time.
So we've kind of thought we'd start with what is UGC. Like, let's just be frank up front with what UGC is so that you can understand it as we actually speak through the rest of the presentation.
So basically, in its simplest form, UGC is user-generated content. So you, as the user of a product or a brand, are creating content about that. And brands are finding that it's really, really effective for marketing. Not only for theirs, but, you know, if you learn these skills too, it's great for your marketing. And brands will pay everyday people to create this type of content to use for their ads.
Yeah.
So it can be sort of reviews, testimonials. We're going to show you some examples as well. And it's just a really great way to earn some cash for your business, but the things that you learn when you do UGC, so invaluable.
These are just some of our students, everyday women, like potentially you guys, who started with no idea what UGC was. They hadn't really ever dabbled in it. We've got Kate here, who's a small business owner. She owns a popcorn business in New Zealand. Now she is in marketing. She's in branding. She owns her own business. And when she came to us, she was like, what's this UGC business? And then we introduced her to it. She started to do it. She absolutely loved it as a creative outlet and also something that now pays her in business. And also the other thing that is good about that is she's been able to then know how to brief potential UGC clients for her own business. We've also got Ange, who is our incredible IP and contract lawyer. We love her. She's a wealth of knowledge, especially in the digital product space. She's really leaned into that to help digital entrepreneurs because the legal side of it can be really tough. So she's amazing. We love her. We've seen her go leaps and bounds. And Christina as well, she came to us originally wanting to really improve her membership. And we introduced her to the Fast Track method, which allowed her to gain traction with UGC. We've also then helped her with her membership. She started a podcast. So the community is an all-round space to learn. But what we want to do is get you paid with UGC, learn these fundamental foundational skills so that you can actually step away. Like Christina, she's got 4 kids. She was able to do UGC and get some money so she could step away, create space to create her membership, to build her podcast, to start infiltrating a bigger dream that she really wants. So that's what we absolutely love about this, I suppose, the most.
And this goes to show too that with UGC, you can be a complete beginner and have no experience, no following, no nothing, and do this. Or you can be like Ange, a barrister, or Kate, a decent big business owner, and still leverage this as well. I have a background in healthcare. I'm a paramedic and a nurse, and you know, I did that for a long time and I was burnt out. I actually ended up hurting my back. I had a back injury from a job and I was off work for 9 months. And during that time, my entrepreneurial spirit came alive because I had nothing else to do. So I started creating little businesses. And so a few of them are here. I was making swings at the markets, and I created a platform, a gifting platform, so you could schedule your gifts ahead of time and have them sent later on so you could forget about them. And, I had another business with stickers that you could tap with your phone. And, I had all these good ideas, but I had no personal brand. I had no confidence. I didn't know how to create good content. I hardly even got in front of the camera because I was very introverted, very shy. And these businesses were just kind of going nowhere because the content just wasn't there. And I was building the businesses before the audience and I just completely ignored content, just completely ignored it, and thought that as soon as I built it, people were going to come and people were going to buy. So that was my big problem. And so I had to go back to work after that. My back got better. Well, not really. It's still got issues, but I went back to work and I just fell into that anxiety trap. And I had my kids and I went on to maternity leave, and I just could not bring myself to go back to work when I had them. I didn't want to leave them. I didn't want to put them into daycare. If paramedics, we do big hours, big long hours, and I just didn't want to do that. So the day before I was due to go back on road after my maternity leave, I called them up and I quit. And I'm like, holy shit, I have no plan B. And so as you do, I was just scrolling. I was just like, there has to be something that I can do. And by chance, I came across this TikTok that changed everything for me. So I'll just play you a few seconds of this TikTok that I saw 3 years ago.
Let me know if the sound works, by the way.
All right, so a couple of my biggest videos that I've ever posted have been recently about UGC. As a creator, how you can make money by making content for a company. You don't have to have a following. You don't have to be an influencer. You just need to know how to make the content and be good at making the content. So in this video, what I'm going to do...
Oops, sorry, I always do that.
So it goes into it. And, that was me. I didn't have a following. I wasn't an influencer, but I'm like, shit, I have to make something work. I'm just going to do it. And 6 weeks later, I replaced my whole entire wage. And over time, my content started to get good and I was growing this personal brand all of a sudden, which was so foreign to me because before that, I posted about my dogs, my kids. I didn't really, post too much on social media. And so this money that I was earning from all these brand deals and all these UGC gigs allowed me and my family to pack up everything and hit the road in our caravan for 2 years. And I was creating content that whole entire time and it funded the whole entire trip. And for that first time in my life, I was like, oh my God, this is true freedom. This is what it is like to make money from my own business. And it kind of changed everything. So we'll just play a little clip of our trip and then we'll go into what happened after that.
This world was created for disconnect. Maternity leave, 6 weeks, and back to work, disconnect. Both parents have to work to afford the house they leave, a sitter to watch the kids, disconnect. Preschool starting at 4 years old, disconnect. Public school with jam-packed schedules until 18, grooming them for stress, disconnect. Now you're an adult, you're expected to move out, disconnect. Get a job, 9 to 5, minimum, to repeat the pattern of disconnect. Sit inside buildings all your life, disconnected. But we're called crazy when we'd rather have less stuff to stay connected. I don't need to leave my house to work for the house I leave and the car I work to pay for. I don't need to send my kids to public school to teach them and guide them, focusing on their strengths and interests. They make friends everywhere they go of all ages and races. I'm told my kids will hate me as teenagers because we choose to connect instead of feeding the monster of disconnect. Opinions based on their own reality of being raised in disconnect. Living in smaller space focused on connecting means I know my kids when their attitudes shift, what makes them happy or sad. It means we all must communicate and become aware of how we make each other feel. It means...
That gets me every time.
Yeah, it makes me cry every time I want to watch it because it was just that pivotal point in my life where I'm like, shit, like this is freedom and this content that I'm creating is giving this to me. And so the fire was in my belly then. I was just like, right, I'm not going back to work. This is what I'm going to do now. And I started to realize what content could do for your business. But I didn't realize what was going to happen next, which was so much more. So this whole identity mirror thing started to happen. So I was developing this conversion instinct in my content through creating content that was designed to sell. And I was getting feedback from these brands and agencies. That's great. Change this. How about we do this? Let's test this. And so I was really starting to understand, okay, that's what I need to create to get results. I was understanding key performance metrics and what they actually meant. What's a hook rate, a hold rate? what do I need to say to get people to take action? I learned the importance of building the audience and the trust and the message before creating the offer. I had this consistent money coming in, so I didn't have to go to a full-time job, which would have taken so much time away from what I was trying to do. And I wasn't desperate in my content to sell anything because I had that money coming in and it was supporting me while I could learn and focus on what I was going to do next. I was building that personal brand and the authority and this audience. I just really all of a sudden started to build audiences really quite easily. It became kind of natural to me. My confidence grew. I had the money coming in. I was working with some of the top direct-to-consumer brands in Australia and around the world, and these opportunities were just kind of starting to fall in my lap. And so we call this the 3 C's. So when your content gets better, your confidence gets better, and your cash flow comes in, which, just kind of cycles around, and all these 3 things get better and better. And that's what you need to grow a successful brand online. And as it turns out, all of these skills that I was learning while I was doing UGC allowed me to scale 3 separate accounts and personal brands, I guess you could say, each to 6 figures just a couple of years later. It's about knowing what kind of content converts. And then when you know that, everything becomes so much easier. Yeah. And this has sort of formed our core belief that UGC is one of the fastest ways to build a flexible income that supports you as a creator and as a brand, but it also allows you to master those skills that you need to be successful with your business, because it's all about the content. And that's, how we formed this FAST method, because we saw this unique thing that was happening with all of our creators when they started to do UGC. They all came to us with different businesses and different ideas, but when we showed them UGC and how to do that, we could see before our eyes that you can sit down and watch a course and absorb all the information and kind of just dwell on it, or maybe you might implement a little bit here and there, or then you'll hear a podcast and then go, that's a good idea, and then you start listening to that and then you just overconsume. But this, it's not fluff. You're actually doing the work. You're taking action, and it's not fluff. It's not a fluffy Reels course or anything like that.
No, this is Katrina, who you just saw before. This is a message she left us, which we love.
Guys, I have had 7 UGC jobs land in my inbox since Monday. And this was yesterday, like not today, the first 3 days of this freaking month. 7 bloody UGC jobs. Like, how the hell am I going to work full time when I'm having so much freaking fun filming UGC for all of these brands? I'm so bloody excited. Had to share it with you. Love your work.
I love that message.
Love the accent. And so this sort of stuff just happens all the time. And as you can hear in her voice, like just the confidence, and something happens to your confidence when a brand pays you money to do something for them. Something happens. So, all right. So we're going to dive into our FAST method and sort of break it down with you into sections that are just so important for you going forward if you choose to go down this path. And so a big part of what we teach is the foundations. So understanding converting content, what makes it convert, what's the psychology behind it. It's giving you that deep understanding of why brands use this type of content in their marketing and why they'll pay you good money to know it as well. And so the brands don't care about your follower account or your aesthetic, beautiful house or, anything like that. They care about you knowing how to create a piece of content that's going to work as an ad. And, that pretty content that you see the young 20-year-olds make with the sunshine and the dripping the stuff all over the face, that's not converting content. They don't want that. It doesn't sell. So making sure that you understand this stuff is really, really important.
And especially if you're a creator that is maybe in your 30s, I'd love to know if anyone's willing to let us know how old you are, because brands need creators in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, because there's not many of us. And I don't know about you, but I'm not buying a wrinkle-free skincare from a 20-year-old because I'm like, y'all are plumped and perfect and my shit is not. And so I want to buy it for a woman that I'm like, oh, if it's working from her, so we've got 40s, 50s. Yeah. Love it, love it, love it. So brands are looking for you, and you find where you sit in that market as well. So you have a point, like it's like a pregnant woman. I'm going to buy something from a pregnant woman if it's saying that this helped her in pregnancy rather than not. So it's that same thing as that UGC, user generated content. What is the user doing? So think of that when you're trying to align yourself with brands, but brands do need older creators because there aren't that many.
Yeah, you think about all of the brands in the world with all of their different target audiences and demographics. We've just finished working with one of our students and he's 75, I think, 70 something,
Yeah.
you know, and he's just finished a job with a garden tool because it's aimed at the older generation because it's lightweight and all the things.
Yeah.
Age doesn't matter either. So I'm going to give you 60 seconds to go and grab a product that you love, that you use. It could be a piece of software or anything, but just grab something that, you know, you would recommend to your grandma.
That in your mind or write it down as well.
Yeah. We're going to give you a little something to help you with this exercise. Just helps if you've got it and you can really understand it, or write it down if it's, you know, in a different rooms. We're going to walk.
You got coffee. Yes. Love that.
Yeah. Pop it in the comments to what your favorite product is. And we're going to go through this converting formula.
So when we go through this formula as well, and we'll go through it in a minute, but we always like to say this formula is like making a cake, right? You've got all the ingredients to make a cake, but if you miss the eggs, the flour and the milk, the cake is probably going to taste like shit, right? But you can put it in any order unless it's a sponge. I'm very aware that a sponge has a particular order because my auntie taught me that, and one day I stuffed it up and my sponge was like this fat. It's like sponge out of it. You can have all the ingredients to a cake and usually put it all in together and it's going to work. So this is the same with the formula. There are ways that, like, this is kind of a way you could do it, but you can do it in different ways to still be as powerful, but you need the ingredients to create the conversion.
Yeah. And so this is a basic formula. Like Kristen said, it can be, you know, changed up a little, but this is what's going to get someone from perhaps not knowing anything about you to, I might download that freebie, or I might click on this link, or I might take an action. So you're probably, if you've been creating content for a while already, you're probably aware that a hook is kind of everything. You need to capture that attention in the first 3 seconds. So that's really, really important. And when you work with brands, they need your hook to work so they can, because they're putting money behind these ads, they need to get their viewer to the next part, to their actual solution. So that hook is really, really important. And you learn to test hooks and understand, why did this hook work and why did this hook not work so well? And when you get into learning the metrics and your numbers, you'll see the percentage of hook rates and what's good and where your hooks should be to be really effective. And then you need to outline a problem. So the whole gist of marketing and products and what have you is to fix a problem that people have. And so you need to know, does the audience even resonate with the problem that I'm saying? Like, you get to really dive inside the psyche of the buyer. What are they feeling? Why are they awake at night? What are they thinking about? What are their pain points? You start to really understand that when you dive into this.
And even with this, just while we're on it, like Mia did a UGC, I don't know, a little while ago that was for like a, not soda stream, but basically a soda stream. And the brand gave her, these are what the customer wants. Like, this is our KPIs, do this. And like, she did it. And then we had a bit of a conversation. I was like, as a mum, that's the last thing I care about. So it's also, you know, then we had a conversation about, you know, its price. Is there too much sugar? Like, is it going to be, you know, is it going to work in your hat? Does it take up much space on your bench top? And all that kind of stuff that as the consumer, we know. And so, you know, with that problem solution and all of that, when you start to work with brands, you can also have the power to say, well, hang on a minute, this is actually how I'd use it as a consumer. This is why I love your brand. This is how I'd use it. And so with that, there is that little bit of negotiation that we will support you with, but it's also to know your own, that's when it comes to brand and marketing, like that's the power, is understanding how you use something ultimately for the end user as well. So just keeping that in mind, because it was a really interesting, and I think they ended up coming back to you, didn't they, Mia, and doing more work with you?
Yeah. And as a creator, that's, you know, you start to learn that. How about we do this concept, or why don't we talk about this? And that's what brands get really excited about when you're a creator and you know this stuff and you come to them with new ideas that they can test. So you start to get really good at understanding this content, and then you go and bring it into your own content as well. And so, you know, you come in, you leave the problem in your content, and then you come into the solution, and you start to think about things like, have I talked about the solution quick enough? Have they dropped off even before I've gotten to the solution? how can I present this solution in a really, unique, fun way? So that's, coming into that. Here's my solution. This is what it's about. And then you're going to go into the proof. So the social proof or the unique selling points, or why should someone even be remotely interested in this? How can it change their life? That sort of stuff. That's really important, that trust and that proof. And then a call to action. So what do you want them to do? How is there time? Is there urgency? You need to understand how to get people to take action as well. I'm just going to leave for 2 seconds. My phone is going off. I'll just check that it's not too serious. You want to take it from here? And that I've just got an example of one of my videos right here. I thought the Outback was only aging my tyres, not my skin, until I found this out. Car windows might block UVB rays, but they still let in those aging UVA rays. And let's be honest, reapplying sunscreen every 2 hours while driving, it's not going to happen. Enter these genius UPF 50 plus sleeves. Slip them on once and you're protected for your entire journey. Plus, they're moisture wicking, so no sweaty arms during those summer road trips. Unlike basic sun sleeves that bunch up faster than holiday traffic, these stay put with an anti-slip band. And the gorgeous Australian bird designs are perfect for camping Instagram shots. Join thousands of smart Aussie travellers who've discovered that the secret to protecting their skin without looking like they're wearing medical gear. Don't let another road trip age your skin. Grab your buy two, get one free bundle today. Your future self will thank you.
Remember, like if you're doing travel or something like that, that could go on your own page, but it doesn't have to go on your own page. So, and Mia's been doing this for a long time. We've been doing this for a long time. So that might feel like, whoa, I can't do it like that. You will learn. Like if you go back to Katrina, they learned this stuff they did our modules, they learned it in a few hours, and then they got their brand deals and they got paid for content. So we're able to teach that quickly because it's bite-sized, it's yummy, it's good. And it doesn't have to be perfect for the first time. Nobody wants the perfection. My dog wants to be outside, so now you take over.
Yeah. And Kristen actually did some content for that same brand as well, the sleeves. And I don't know, if you know Kristen's story from socials, but you had a melanoma. And so that type of brand is really close to you and you experience that problem and you talk about that in the content and, you can bring your own unique angle to a brand and the content as well. All right, so this is where we really go into that authority positioning. So this is where you get insights on how to make more money from your content and grow that authority in your brand partnerships. And, it's kind of the difference between a lowball UGC job of a few $100s or turning it into a recurring content package where you become this partner with the brand. And so we want our creators to stop sort of introducing you as a UGC creator and start acting like a creative partner and someone that they can trust and, go to you for content ideas and, create this really great relationship as well. Because you get to work with these marketing gurus inside these big multi-million-dollar brands and you can leverage that with your own brand. Just like Tracy, she has her own fitness app. She does a lot of work in the menopause niche and she's partnering with brands that just align with her business so well. And that's building her authority in her niche. If you see a business partnering with some of the biggest brands around, you're like, well, they seem pretty credible and whatnot. And she's been invited to CreatorCon. She's spoken on stages. I think she's currently in Bali at the moment. She's holidaying, but she's also doing UGC to fund that while she's over there. So this authority piece really comes into it when you're trying to build your personal brand as well. Even if you're just doing UGC that's not going on your page, doing that is increasing that confidence. And, in the beginning, it can be a bit nerve-wracking to email a brand like, oh, what do I say? They won't want to work with me, all the rest of it. But when you start to do it over and over and over again, that confidence increases and that authority builds as well.
And smart monetization, like we're all about helping you work smarter. And that's how are you already tagging brands? How are you working alongside brands that you're not getting paid for yet? Okay, let's see how we can help brand partnerships. How can we bring that in so that you can leverage what you're already doing that gives you more potential? Or you might be like, you know what, I just want to do UGC and earn a good income so that I can really focus on this side and what I'm doing there. So it's really about creating a space where you can get consistent income that's sustainable. That's something that isn't overworking you and getting to a point where you're just, I'm out and I'm burnt out. But it's how can you leverage this in a way that is, if nothing else, it might become a full-time thing. And you might be like, UGC is my thing now. I'm here to do this and this only. And that's okay. We support that as well. Or you might be like, no, I do need this to fund the greater good. And that's another part that we do make sure we show you how you can leverage as we go through as well.
And that money that's coming in, it's not like it's this side hustle that's taking you away from what you're trying to do. It's funding a business, building a skill that you actually need anyway. So that's why we love it.
And we love this too. So
yeah, as we know, you business owners, creating content takes a lot of time. Like we all are time poor. So we like to show our students tools and things that you can use to make the process so much quicker. So if you're on your computer screen, scan the little QR code and you can have a go on your phone, or I will drop the link in here. This is our AI workflow agent, which is going to help you create converting content quicker. Now, we all know with AI, it needs tweaking, right? It needs your personality. It needs to have that human element, but this is going to give you ideas. It's going to help you frame the script in a certain way. We've trained these agents to understand UGC formulas and what we want it to say. So inside our community, we've got lots of different agents that are going to help you with your organic content, your UGC content, pitching to brands, negotiating with brands. Like we've got a whole heap of different agents in there to save you time. And we've also got other softwares in there that we teach you how to get the right brand email. Instead of just going to their website and clicking on their hello@bonds.com email, we show you a way that you can get the right emails to speak to the right person who's in the back office doing all the marketing or what have you. So we understand that time is a big thing when you're trying to grow your own business. It's hard enough creating content for your own business, let alone someone else's. So we try to make it really easy for you to get this stuff out a lot quicker. And this stuff can save.
Yeah, and with all of this stuff, with any kind of AI, we always celebrate the fact that it supports you. So if you do it and you put it in, you're like, oh, that doesn't feel like me, then don't do it. But that might just give you the idea and the tweak to be like, okay, that's a great idea, but I'll do it this way. So it's always about supporting you, not just doing it word for word. But it's, we've had huge amounts even here. Michelle said it saves her hours and hours a week. And she's kind of leaning more into she's not doing full-time UGC because she's still got her own job as well, but she's doing a lot more of it. And she's saying it's saving her hours and hours. And now she's able to take on more jobs and get paid for it because of the use of the AI agents, which is great.
And, we're all about outsourcing too. Some people hire a virtual assistant to do the editing or do the back and forth emails, all about getting the most out of your time and being smart about how you do it.
So while you're using, has anyone got any questions? We can kind of
product that, your favorite product, put the URL in. So you paste the URL in and give it some more information and see what it spits out. And you can jig around with it.
Jig around.
Around.
I'll let you guys keep playing with it because we're going to go to questions at the end. So if you want to keep playing with it and hold the questions, we can keep going so we get through it and then we can all kind of have a breather and see what's going down. Let me just get that.
Now, this is where it gets really exciting. We froth over this stuff. And I froth over numbers. I don't know why, because I hated maths at school. But when numbers start to tell a story for your business, you'll get obsessed with your numbers. And if you create some content for a brand that they're running ads for, you can go back to them and say, hey, just wondering what the hook rates were on my videos. And they might be like, oh, they're only 20, 30%, kind of just that standard range. And you're like, right, okay. I need to work on the hooks. And, you might do a hook, and it's 80% or 69%. You're like, wow, that worked great. What was it about that hook that worked, that got people in? And then you start looking at your hold rates as well. How long did I hold someone on that video for? And what did I do to get that? And how do you hold someone on a video for longer? What do you say? What are the visuals? All these numbers really matter, especially when you get to the point of running your own ads. How much did this lead cost me? And how can I make it cheaper? And how can I get my hook rates up? And all these things start to make more sense the more you do this. for brands, and it starts to become second nature to you when you're doing your own ads and when you're looking at even at your own organic analytics. When did they drop off? How long did people stay on my video for? Why did that one go viral and this one didn't? So you really start to go granular with your
learning how to make this work for you. And this was, like we said at the start, Tracy, when she first came to us, she had $2 in her business bank account, and her partner said to her, husband said to her, you've got 6 months. If 6 months comes and you've not made it, then we need you to get a job. So she knew that. And then she got her first paid brand partnership. And like I said, she took me as Notion board before we'd even created the fast track funnel and created a program specifically for it. She took the Notion board and went with it. And then all of a sudden she learned all of these skills. She was able to create with her branded app the conversion rate. She understood that she can now, with her marketing budget, either hire UGC creators knowing exactly what she wants from them, or she can do it herself. And it's just been something that she went so quickly from that $2 to, I think in 6 months, she was earning the 5 to 7Ks a month and working 2 days a week. So she sent us this message. I'll just play it here for you.
Hey, Mia and Kristen, I just want to thank you so much for the UGC course that I did nearly 2 years ago. It has been absolutely life-changing. Like, this year for us has been incredible. We have bought a new home. We didn't see that it was going to happen as quickly as it did. But when I started UGC, the money just started rolling in. So I felt really good about that. And also a 2-week holiday in Bali for my whole family coming up at the end of June. Like, to be able to do those two things within, 6 months of each other is just so incredible. I couldn't have done it on, a fitness trainer's wage. So I'm super excited in the direction that UGC is going in. And I'm really happy for other people also finding this path and making their dreams come true. Thank you, girls. I appreciate you so much.
Incredible New Zealand Kiwi members. And the network effect, like we said before, this is about you creating connections, opportunities, networking, partnerships with people that can make bigger decisions with you and for you in your business. I was working with a local council, just doing a few things here or there, but managed to turn that into a consulting job and giving them some extra care in their social media and stuff like that. So it kind of transformed that relationship from a one-off, we just would like to work with you this one time, to all of a sudden I was able to do a lot of work with them. So those things can happen. And these are just some of the businesses that we've worked with, and some of the businesses that we continue to work with or we've been able to leverage from and build that authority.
And for a good while, I have partnered with brands as on a retainer sort of setup. So every month you'll create a certain amount of videos for them. A few particular ones were on my page. So once a month, I would do a post for them about their brand because it aligned with me and my audience. And they paid me $600 for one video every single month for 2 years, I think it was. So can you imagine that $600 coming in every single month for you to post one video about a product that you really love and use every day anyway? And so those sort of partnerships become really important to your business because, as we know, business can be like this all the time, but you've got that retainer money coming in or that partnership that sort of funds it as well. And this is a big example of what's currently happening to us now. These opportunities just come out of nowhere. And we've had quite a big brand in Australia come to us and want to partner with us on a new project going forward that we're going to be launching into the world in a little while.
And it's a skill acceleration. Like we said, it's building those foundational skills that don't often happen in the longer content heavy kind of courses that I've certainly invested in and some of you guys might have invested in. Those skill sets come with time and dedication and all of those things. But what we want to do is accelerate that for you so that you can learn this quickly and kind of hit the ground and just keep running. Like Christine, like we said, she's got 4 kids. She came to us with the idea of really wanting to leverage her membership and then found out about the FAST method, did that in no time, and all of a sudden was like, hang on a minute, I'm getting UGC jobs. I'm able to fund this. I'm really enjoying it. Started a podcast and is now, her membership is thriving because of that content, that she's had space now to kind of breathe because she's not hustling to make it work, but rather just taking that space to breathe. Yeah. I think that's what's really important is the speed that you can get there. The speed and accuracy, I think, to be honest, is you can get there fast and it's going to work. And that's what we love about it.
Katrina was able to retire her husband and, she still works as a teacher. She loves her job and whatnot, but just this income that was allowing them to breathe while their content was just, skyrocketing.
No, and you're like, Christina here, she put it in here. She didn't think anybody wanted, why would you want to work with me? And that's the biggest thing that kind of stop us is brands need everyday people. They need you. They need me. They need 40 plus, 30 plus. They need creators because content is never going to stop. So I think it's really important to get out of that mind frame. because it will only kind of feel like you failed if you do UGC. It's not that at all, because you can either stay stuck and overwhelmed and just pushing and pushing and pushing, or you can make a decision that's going to hopefully, and we know, change the trajectory. I hate that word, but trajectory, you know what it is, of the rest of your life, because you made that decision that you're going to take this chance. And like, we're selfish creatures. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching like, oh, she's done that again with her business, has she? Like, that's all in here, and that's a mindset thing that we need to move past.
Yeah.
And these just all pile up against each other, because you don't need to grow your audience first. All these things are going to give you skills to grow an audience, to understand your audience. Some of them may even push you in a direction that you didn't know you were going before, because you've learned something about yourself, about your business, about the people that you want to connect with, the people that you talk to online. So you don't need to grow that audience first if you don't want to. These are all skills that will help you do that. And this is one of those things that, yes, it all sounds too good to be true, but it really is this simple.
Yep.
A little.
So there's so many brands out there that need creators. You send them an email, or you join a UGC platform, or you go to Facebook groups and you connect with these brands. They send you the product, you do the video for them, you sign a contract. We'll answer your question in a minute, Marina, about the contracts. And the brand takes it in a Google Drive and runs it as ads. Or if it aligns with your audience and the brand wants you to post it on your page, it goes on your page and then you get paid. Yep. So it's really, really simple. And it's one of the lowest barrier to entry. Does that make sense?
Yep.
To get into getting paid for your content. There's lots and lots of side hustles out there. A lot of people will sort of sold the dream with the master resale rights and the digital products. And a lot of people realize, like, fuck, this is actually really hard to sell a digital product. It takes time, it takes persistence, it takes understanding messaging and psychology and content and all the things before you see the money coming in. Whereas this, you can pick up your phone today, create a video for a brand, pitch it to them, and
at the end of the day, we're not influencers, we're strategic creators and marketers. And that's what's really important, is that, you know, we understand how to make this work in this current market with this skill set. And that's why we've set up what is the Fast Track method. And inside there's pitch templates. We've got pitching strategic, how to pitch strategically and get in the inbox of brands that you want to work with, content formulas, media kits, lawyer approved contracts, sales psychology, trainings. And it's basically, like I said, that Lego manual of the step-by-step of how you actually do that. And so that particular FAST method is a course that if you choose today, you're like, yep, that's me, I want to go for it and jump in. We offer that course for $397. That's our Fast Track method, and that's just the training. So that's just to get in and get going. We don't so much hold your hand or anything. That's just for you to grab it and run with it and go for it. Your content isn't converting because of those things that Mia said as well, is you just keep throwing things at a wall. You might be getting all the free strategies, learning from all the gurus, buying another Reels course, buying another this course, another that course, when if you are training yourself and understanding these conversion methods, these techniques that brands use, that we share with our creators, they become second nature. And when she came to us, her content was all right. But then within a few months, her content absolutely excelled. Like, she completely changed. She created her own breathwork course. Then she got to a point where, like here, $10,800 worth of jobs in the first 5 days of the month. Now, some of them were big jobs. We're not saying UGC and brand deals are simple and they're so easy and they'll take half an hour. Like, some of them were big jobs, but she didn't have to go to work. She's now traveling in France with her family and she's doing UGC to help them. So it's possible. And that's why we want to keep kind of really supporting you to say, like, if you want this, then let's do this. And there's always a solution to kind of having to do this. And it doesn't have to be that hustle, new course, and just getting to the point where you don't see anything for your hard work until you give up. And that's the point that we want to kind of intercept here before you give up and say, I can't do this, I'm not earning any money, I'm out. we want to make sure that we can open those opportunities for you.
Hello, lovely ladies. I just wanted to let you know what's been happening recently. And so I officially started my UGC journey on the 1st of November. So that's about 4.5 weeks ago. And I just a little bit shocked. I managed to get 2 paid jobs. My first UGC job was £600. Like, what the fuck? And I just, I'm still blows my mind. I've got another job for £100 and I've got 2 gifted collaborations, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I've got sent 3 inbounds today. I created a TikTok today saying I got my first inbound because I was so excited, and then I got 2 more. And I'm honestly speechless because this is going to change everything. I know it will. I feel like everything has been stepping stones for me to do this. Everything, like, I've been learning how to create content for almost a year. It's been crazy. And I just wanted to say thank you, because I would never have done this if I didn't listen to you guys. And I didn't believe you when you said that I could do this. I have to be completely honest. I did not believe you, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go because I do know how to create content. But I didn't expect this, and I'm just